Yo, welcome back. Today we're going to look at some RTSs that are coming out in 2022. Good games where your mind can become in the strategy focus on making execution penetration. Okay, without hey, make a subscribe. Thank you very much. Let's go. First up, we have Ratten reich. Is that how it's pronounced? Ratten, whatever. Ratten reich. Ratten reich is an upcoming RTS that was crafted up with the help of a Kickstarter campaign. It's a traditional RTS, you can say, but with a unique storyline. Inspired by the events of the World Wars, this military war game is centered around anthropomorphic rats, mice, roaches, and lizards. There's a variety of factions, and each faction comes packed with its own unique attributes, whether that's more sophisticated weapons and technologies or steam filled machines. From what we know, the developers will bring out the campaigns in sort of batch mode, the first having around 15 hours of gameplay. Although, if you're done with the game and you want to play online, you can always jump on for some multiplayer skirmishes. The game should be out for release around September in 2022. Okay, on to the next. Gord is a game where players take command of a small medieval Slavic village. It's your job to ensure your people are safe and healthy. This is not as easy a task as it might seem. You'll have to seek out resources, build up your village, head to raids, and fight off mythical beasts. There's even procedural generation of scenarios, so you can always find something new to do. Of course, there's bound to be death, and whilst in some games death doesn't really matter, death can play a major factor in Gord. There are horrors in this world, and adding in deaths can actually impact the sanity and burden of your survivor. Gord should be released around the middle of this year. On to the next. Builders of Egypt is a game that you kind of seen already. It's an overall city builder and management game set within ancient Egypt. Your goal is to rule the land and build up your civilization. This means gathering resources, laying out the law, expanding your territory, and dealing with the constant political shifts that come along with being a leader. If I'm not mistaken, the developers have released not one but two prologues that allow you to go in and have a try at the game. So you should. The game comes out this year, but we're not given a specific release date as of yet. So if you want to get your Egyptian balls tickled, this is the game you need to go to. Builders of Egypt. Next up, we have Crossfire Legion. Set within the Crossfire IP is a new upcoming RTS called Crossfire Legion. This is an actual game from the same developers that came out with Homeworld 3. Here, factions fight for control, and the only way to achieve their goals is by heading into the battlefield. Head first. Players will have to manage resources, send out commands, and attempt to pull off unique strategic tactics to take out the opposing force. There's both a PvP and a PvE section, so whichever one tickles your ballsack is the one you should go for. Do you have what it takes to take control of a kingdom in medieval times? Manor Lords will put you through the test as you take your charge in building up your kingdom. Gather resources, build up new structures, tend farmlands, keep your civilians happy, and your armies well fed would be a pretty good start. Because before you know it, war will be approaching your kingdom gates. This means gathering your troops and leading them onto battle. However, there might be some areas to consider during these skirmishes. You'll want to ensure that your military forces has equipment that's not dull and the weather conditions are favorable, as these little aspects can play a big outcome in the battlefield. It's nice when strategy games takes more aspects into consideration that allow for uniqueness in play, such as weather or how good your equipment are compared to your enemies. I really like that feature. Manor Lord is by the developer Slavic Magic. They're also the publisher, and it's coming out for PC. I haven't really been able to find a release date, but as soon as I do, I'll update this video. So, this was Manor Lord. Let's move on to the next. The Terminator franchise is massive, and you've likely already watched the various movies more than once. Now you can actually try an RTS Terminator game called Terminator Dark Fate. The setting takes place in the film Terminator The Dark Period. Players are fighting for their survival after the machine network seeks to destroy everything left within humanity. Here you'll step into command of the Founders faction as you fight off the Legion. You'll deal not only with machines but other human factions as well. Each choice on the battlefield will come with a consequence for the resistance, scrambling up what little resources are left and put it all on your front line so you can fight for humanity's freedom. I'll probably add this game to my wish list just because it is Terminator and I grew up with the movies, so I think it'll be worth a try. Who doesn't love the Starship franchise, set in the future where humanity is facing giant bugs to save our planet? It's a thrilling series, and this year we get to add a new game into the fold with Starship Troopers Terran Command. This game is centered around a group of troops having to save the planet of Kawalishawa, used primarily as a mining facility for the resources. A swarm of insects bursts into the scene, and it's time to lock and load, baby. Now, outmatched with a growing number of giant alien parasites, players will need to use their wit and tactics to save the mining facilities from being completely lost. It kind of does give this, both the movie and the game, this sense of overwhelming odds and the small guy versus hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of insects, which isn't a bad thing actually. That's why I enjoyed watching the movie. So this game definitely also deserves a mention. There's a few more RTS games coming out this year, so I will see this as a part 1 video, and there's a part 2 video coming up shortly where I pull out a few other games. Once we're done with RTS, maybe we'll move over to another subject. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Leave a comment, a subscribe, a tweet, what's it called? Send me a letter, send a gift card, whatever. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.